Hello, and welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Tones, where we take 10 real minutes and try to dial in a preset from 0 to usable. And the time starts now. So, today, what are we talking about? I thought today we would talk about one of the amp models that I think is probably the most underrated in the Fractal. I just stumbled upon this one day, and I for whatever reason, it just worked with whatever I had wired up at that point. And I thought it was really cool. It's called the Gibtone Scout. It's this super weird, quirky amp by Gibson, super old. It doesn't have any controls. It's got literally a volume control. So we're going to stick to the drive channel, and we'll look at some ways in which we can work around the limitations of tonal shaping in a bit. So first, we need to pick a cab. Now, if you search Gibtone, if you can type, and you search for Gibtone, you'll see these here. The speaker that was in the amp was a 10-inch, not a 12-inch. So I'm not sure where these come from. I also don't think I particularly like them. What I've done before with this amp is just use one of the Princeton 110s. You can also go through and use some of the nuclear tone cabs. Those will work really well. Apparently the nuclear tone is sort of like an evolved version of this kind of amp from what I've read. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to pin this and just audition some sounds. Actually, let's add a quick room reverb so that we don't drive ourselves crazy. And today, you might notice this thing dangling here. I've got one ear in so I can hear the direct sound as well. So hopefully I'll be able to tune it a little bit for the direct sound that you're going to hear. But I also have my amp in the room here so that I can feel the air moving. So let's see. We've got something. All right, let's start auditioning some cabs. Now that we've wasted 2 minutes talking about this amp. So let's just go for the Princeton ones. The Princeton, You can see, hopefully you can hear why I kind of like this amp. It's very simple. It gives you a good sort of like tonal difference between that bridge pickup really pushing it. But then, you know, when you're going for that glassy clean sound, you kind of get a little bit of that. And we'll juice the drive knob in a bit and kind of see what we can get out of it. Actually, that doesn't sound too bad. I know from experience, the 57 is a little too bright when we start cranking up the drive. So that just sounds great too, right? Okay. I'll click through a couple more, but I think we're going to land. No, let's just land on the 121. Okay, we'll land on that. Now, we'll come back to this. I think we're going to come back and play with the high cut control as we start turning up the input drive on the amp. Let's do that now. So from here, we've got mostly clean. If we push it, you know, we can get a little bit of, but not a lot. But I think, honestly, let's just crank it all the way up. I think this works. I think you can get somewhere with this. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, you might, depending upon what you're doing, feel like there's a little bit too much high end maybe in there. So what we can do is we can bring this high cut control back, and if it sounds good, it is good. Most of the cabs are going to roll off a ton over 5K anyways, so don't be afraid to be aggressive with the high cut. In here, there's you can definitely hear it. It's rolling off some of that extra information up there. Watch what happens when we get kind of below 5K. You're a more aggressive change kind of after 5K. I'm gonna leave it kind of around 5K. Make sure we didn't lose our glass. About this amp, it just kind of, if you've got a Strat at least, it just kind of works with all of that. Like I can push it with humbuckers, I can get that crunchiness, that mid push with the gain that I want personally, and then I get the sparkle back when I back off, which is to me kind of almost an ideal scenario. And I'm not tweaking anything. I'm just tweaking the volume knob and the pickups on my guitar, which is pretty cool. So what if we wanted a little bit more than this? Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Another way that you could do this, you could take the high cut down on the amp. Another sort of extreme way that you could tweak this is if we go into speaker, we've got, where is it? High frequency resonance. This is like the amount of that peak, this peak right here that we see, we can actually take it down. There's a big peak up there. We can take it down. Okay. I'll stop messing with that. Those are some 2 controls. If you've never touched them before, go take a look at those, play around with that. The amp is definitely getting kind of nasty now that we've cranked the input drive all the way up. Probably in real life the thing would explode, I don't know. But those are some nice ways, hopefully you heard that, that you can kind of tame that. And what if we wanted even more? Let's go to the preamp. I made a video about using the input boost on the Fractal. It's great. We don't even need to add a drive and we can get a separate boost here. So let's save this. Let's go ahead and copy current channel to all channels. And we'll go to scene 2 and we'll make sure that, yeah, we're on channel A. We'll make sure we're on channel A. Make sure nothing weird happened here. Okay, cool. And then I'm getting too fancy. I'm gonna run out of time. We'll set the scene controller to scene controller 1, and then if we go, oh, okay. Did it work already? Okay, perfect. It's already wired up. Didn't have to do anything. So now we've got the input boost on. So let's flick back and forth between that. So that gets pretty nasty. Big volume difference. Maybe back it off until a little bit until it kind of is more reasonable of a volume bump. Cool. Another thing to mess with is also, if we go to dynamics, let me go back to a clean sound. We'll back it off a little bit. Let me turn up the output compression. I'm looking for about 4 dB here as we almost run out of time. could back the input drive off to get that even cleaner if you wanted to do that. So anyways, we've got a clean, we've got a super clean, an edge, and we've got an input boost like lead on top of that. Super versatile, one knob. I know we tweaked a lot of extra parameters about the amp to get there, but to me, this is like the most underrated, coolest amp in the Fractal because it's just so simple and so versatile. And yeah, I love using it. Let me know in the comments if you check out this amp, please do. And let me know in the comments what you think about it. And let me know what settings you ended up with. I will upload this preset to Exchange. And yeah, thanks for watching. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good.